Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, we've got a big show. We're going to talk about Bama fans that are very confident in Jeremy Pruitt's return to their team. We're also going to talk about the 5 stars that are visiting this weekend. We got a whole bunch of them and a lot of really good players at what they're calling their second junior day. We're also going to talk about this big basketball game we got today at 6 o'clock versus Texas. And game day is going to be there. I think it's the 5th time the Vols have had game day at one of their games. But anyway, the Vols are doing great in all 3 of their sports. Football finished ranked number 6. The basketball team's currently at number 4, and the baseball team's at number 2. And I can tell you Vols fans are feeling a lot like this.
Well, you just never know when another beast might come down out of the forest. You understand, don't you, Thumb-Lou?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going really well. Top 10, almost top 5 in all 3 sports. So really a good program, and things are going well for the state of Tennessee. But let's get into this Jeremy Pruitt news. This story is talking about how the confidence is soaring for a Jeremy Pruitt return. It says in the last 24 hours, confidence has soared about Jeremy Pruitt returning. Now, they're labeling it as rumors, but understand Alabama doesn't have a defensive coordinator right now, and they need one. And you know Saban would love to bring Pruitt back because Pruitt, look, you can say what you want about the guy. He can coach defense. He's been very good every time that he's had that role. So I'm sure Saban would love to have him back in that same role. You know, they won a couple of titles together. So that's probably where a lot of this is coming from. It says here on the Bama Hammer site, a lot of this is either rumor or conjecture, but a lot of it has to do with solid information, according to this site. And some people are saying that the SEC has cleared Jeremy Pruitt, but I don't think the SEC can do that. As a matter of fact, it says here it can't. You know, the SEC doesn't control the NCAA. And it says Alabama fans are anxious to hear Nick Saban has hired Pruitt as the Crimson Tide's next defensive coordinator. There is little doubt that Saban's preference would be exactly that. It says what Saban must decide is Pruitt as defensive coordinator, is he worth the possible consequences of having a DC who for a time cannot recruit. And then it talks about how the Vols have scapegoated Pruitt. So, look, the Vols didn't scapegoat the guy. Look, he gave some people some money, like $60,000. And I'm not going to sit here and rip the guy to shreds. He was making like $4 million. And he helped out some people that needed money, and they were associated with the team. Obviously, I think one or two of them were parents of the kids that were playing for him, and they needed money for some was medical bills, some was rent. And I'm sitting here going, you've got $4 million coming in, and these kids are struggling, and you're not going to help them. I'm kind of glad the NIL money's here for that reason, because look, what would you do? You're sitting here, and the university's bringing you in a wheelbarrow full of money every 2 weeks. More money than you've probably ever seen in your life. And then here are these kids that are helping you make that money and you can't help them in any way. That's tough. One of them's mother's got $3,000 worth of medical bills, you know, and she's struggling to pay the rent. You're not going to help that kid out. That's, you know, and that's what they did. Now, I'm sure a lot of it was other stuff that they shouldn't have done, but, you know, $60,000 today in NIL money is nothing. That's pocket change. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. I think this will all play out. I think Pruitt's going to get a show cause, but show cause means you can still hire the guy. You just got to show cause. And Saban's pretty good at that. But anyway, there will be some headaches. It says, my conjecture here, the writer says, puts me in the camp that believes Nick Saban will hire Pruitt. My guess is it will be soon. An additional guess may be 60-40 that Pruitt will be a defensive analyst until the NCAA decision is made. So that's pretty interesting. It sounds like Saban really wants to hire Pruitt. So we'll see how that all plays out. It's hard to say. I know a lot of people don't like Pruitt in Knoxville, and I understand that perfectly. You know, we had a really bad go there at the end, and he got us in trouble with the NCAA. But understand this, had he not come in and laid an egg like he did, we wouldn't have Josh Heupel right now and be literally in the beginnings of what looks like going to be a great run and tenure for Heupel. And the offense that we're running right now is so entertaining and awesome. It's just incredible to watch it. And it allows us to be able to compete with teams that have way more talent than we do. And as we continue to gather talent, which we're doing, you know, this year's class was very good, we're going to start to be able to compete with anybody. And for all those teams that are out there saying, oh, you know, it was a fluke last year and our offense is a gimmick and you're not afraid, Well, let me tell you this.
You will be. You will be.
That's right. You will be. All right, now we're going to get into the junior day, and we've got several 5-stars that are there this weekend. And we're going to start out with this first guy, Jarrett Gibson, and he is a 5-star running back for 2024, and this guy is the real deal. As you can see here, he's 5'10", 200 pounds out of IMG. He's the 10th ranked player in the country, the #1 running back. And crystal ball predictions, he's warm on Tennessee, Georgia, and Texas. We're going to take a look at some of his highlights. Right here, you see him right here, and then he's gone. And this guy would be great in a UT uniform. I mean, he would just be ideal. He's the right size and got the speed and the moves. And, of course, you know, this is his sophomore year, so, I mean, he's even faster and stronger now. But, I mean, look, he's just making these guys look foolish. They just can't tackle him. You can see that lower body strength. And, like I said, good grief. This dude is hard to tackle, and he's got that breakaway speed. Man, I could see this guy in our offense. Let's watch another couple plays here. See, of course, he can catch the ball, which is very important for a volunteer. You got to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. And there he goes. Goodbye. Changes the game right there. That should have been a 2-yard gain at most. Turns it into a 40-yard touchdown. I'm going to watch another one. Oh, doesn't panic. And he's gone. That could have been a turnover. Instead, it's a 35-yard touchdown. Yeah, this guy would be an epic get for the Vols. And now he's probably going to return he's going to return a kick for a touchdown, I'm sure. Zoop. I'm gone. Goodbye. You have no chance. Don't even try. Okay. So anyway, that's enough. Yeah, that'd be a home run right there. That's the type of guy that can kind of change your offense. And you know how much we run the ball. You know, everybody thinks we're a pass-happy offense. Wrong. We run the ball more than we pass it. It's just our passing is so prolific that it freaks people out. But I can tell you this, we run the ball a ton, and that guy would be ideal. Now, another guy we've got in there this weekend is Camarion Franklin, who is also a 5-star edge rusher. He's 6'4", 260, and this guy would be a great get for us. And we're going to watch some of his highlights. Now watch him break through here. He's right here. And he pushes this guy back like he's not even there, and then just, whoop, you have no chance. Here he comes breaking through again. Another sack. And I realize this is high school, but, you know, that's the type of players you're looking for that just make it look so easy. There he is doing a little swing around, and nope, you're done. And this is IMG, understand. So, you know, these are some of the best players in the country that he's making look silly. No way. Nope. Yeah, this holding, and he got the sack. So he just causes havoc everywhere he goes. And once again, nope, you're done. Nope, I've got you by one hand, and that's enough. So you can see why the Vols are pretty high on this guy. He would be an excellent get for us. You know, we got 3 really good edge rushers in last year's class, and that's what we've got to do. We got to keep stacking up those edge rushers and hope that a bunch of them pan out, because we're trying to compete with Georgia and Alabama, and you're not going to do that with a bunch of 3-stars. You're going to have to get 4 and 5 stars and stack them up like they do. Now, granted, we're fortunate, like I said, because we do have an offense that allows us to compete with teams that have more talent, but it sure would be nice to have as good a talent. And this is what we're going to have to do, keep bringing in the 5-stars. And in the first junior day, we had 5-star Williams Namari, who's also a big-time defensive lineman. So that was another 5-star. We had, of course, Ryan Wingo, who we're leading for, 5-star wide receiver. That's really a guy we should get. And then another 5-star in Mike Matthews, who would be a great get because we'd be taking him from Georgia, which would be terrific. And he's the type of guy that Georgia always gets, and he usually plays in the secondary, and he just causes you nothing but grief. Now, this guy could play wide receiver or secondary, but that would be a great get. So that's 5 stars in the last couple of visits. And then on top of that, we got George McIntyre, who's also there, a 2025 5-star quarterback, and I showed you his highlights last time. That guy is a terrific player. He throws the ball beautifully off platform. He scrambles. He's 6'5". He's only a sophomore, and he throws the ball as well as anybody you'll ever see, especially at that age. I mean, he just throws dimes. He's got great touch, and he never panics. which is excellent for a guy that age. But on top of that, last junior day, we had Boo Carter, who's out of Chattanooga, a very important player for us. And then Marcus Gorey, also a Tennessee guy. And then, of course, Edwin Spillman, who is the #1 player in the state for 2024 linebacker. Got to get him as well. So, we've had a bunch of great players in over the last few weekends. And the Vols, they're recruiting 4 and 5 stars as hard as anybody, and they're getting them into Knoxville. It's no more missing out on even the visits. We're getting tons of visits with the big dogs. And that's the difference between being, 7 and 6 and being 11 and 2. Once you start playing New Year's Six bowls, you start getting the attention of every player out there. And especially with our offense is so fun and it attracts great players and it gets everybody excited. And if you don't think those high school players are excited watching our offense, look, I'm in my 50s and I get excited. What do you think an 18-year-old high school kid's going to do? They're going to want to play in that offense so bad they can't stand it. And then on the defense, you're going to get to play because they end up playing like extra 20 to 25 plays a game. You're going to get to play. So it's pretty obvious the Vols are on a great track right now, and it's pretty exciting. And we've got a big basketball game tonight. I'm really looking forward to this game. We need to beat Texas. That would be a really good feather in our cap. We're already 17-3. You win that game, you're working your way to #1. You're really getting close because we're at #4 right now. All right, folks, just wanted to cover all that fun stuff today. Pruitt, possible return to Bama. We'll see about that. You never know. And then all these 5 stars we got coming in. I just really feel like the Vols have got the momentum, and they just need to keep it up. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover the Vols and the SEC. And if you've not subscribed, it's right here on the left. A lot of you folks, you watch my program, you don't hit that little button, and it costs you nothing. And it helps me. I'd appreciate it. Just hit that little button. Dunk. And also, YouTube puts a video right over here. It's my most recent one. Check that one out. It's pretty popular. And I hope you did like the content. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.